Welcome to part 2. So last time in class, we ended with this tree. We have an apple in here. We're running this program. And you hit the letter A and it drops. Right? And that's what it does after you get through like step 13 or so. Right? But then we start adding this randomness stuff. And last video I was getting like, I don't know what's going on here. So I looked through this. And here's how we're going to break this down. The part that tripped me out was that the project lead, though, he offers this stuff here, but that kind of really confuses me. And I'm like, well, why, like 2 options, but like the for loop and the teacher's work doesn't even use the for loop. And I'm like, oh man, dudes, what's going on? And then you start scrolling and then you're like, I'm done. Then you're like, is Cyberpunk out yet? No. So I guess I'm going to finish this. So looking through this, here's how I'm going to interpret this lesson and break down our chunks. Because I don't like their to-do list. So I'm going to make my own and trying to read through this. And I think this follows the lesson right. Hopefully for everyone watching it works. So in the previous activity above, we used random int. So the first thing we got to create, I have it where just an apple falls. And it says A and that's it. After that apple falls from the tree, we want to reposition it and give it a new letter. All right. So I'm going to break down this task. And I think that's what gets broken down in a few ways through here. They explained range. They say, record your plan for resetting an apple after its fall. Okay. And then 16, record the plan for checking the value that the user presses versus the letter there. All right. So through step 16, here are the steps. I'm going to put them on the side right here. I think I can put them like right here and it doesn't get in the way. Does this get in the way? A replet? Oh, replet was always weird, right? Okay, so here are the steps I can put like right here. Step number 1. I want it to reset the apple. Same spot. 2. Reset the apple. Random spot. Step 2. Step 3. I want it to have a random letter on apple. And then step 4, I want that apple falls via the random letter. Okay. I think that breaks down to 4. So chunking this down, I want after it falls, the apple to go back to the same spot. Same A, and I can keep hitting A and it keeps dropping the apples. Next step is I want it to be a random spot, okay? And then I want it to have a random letter on it, but still A makes it drop. And then I'm going to change it so that apple falls when I press that random letter. And I think that's what we get out of all this lesson. Now, a few other things in this lesson. We learned what range is. If you don't know, I've added it to list, but the idea is range 10 would create create a list of numbers. So they say sequence of numbers, the list of numbers. It's in sequence, though. So if you did range 10, it would number 0 through 9. But so there's 10 numbers, starts at 0. This kind of lines up with how lists work with indexes and stuff. So that's the intention. You can also do range with 2 parameters. If you do range 2, 5, it would give you the numbers 2, 3, 4. So it starts at the left number, but stops right before the right number, the second number. Or second argument, okay? One of the benefits of ranges is, before we've done these while loops with this I equals 0, while I is less than 10, plus. Instead of that, we can just use a for loop for I in range 10. These do exactly the same thing. This looks cleaner, and that's the better way probably to do this going forward because this is just 3 lines. It's easier to mess up, especially if you get like a large amount of code. So I would start sticking with this. Why they didn't teach you at the start like that? Because we were teaching while loops. We want to baby you through this. If you throw a for loop right away, kind of don't explain how it works. Because basically this for loop does this. But this explained it better, right? All right. Now there's this part in step 15. Oh, use the pop function. I don't think I'm going to use the pop function. Because I was thinking how to make this, that I don't want to do it their way. So let's begin. I'm going to follow these rules. And, I can't. I don't need that. So first thing, I know I'm going to have I want to reset the apple first, right? So this is my code at the end of the last section. Okay, so after it drops the apple, you know what? I think it should just draw the apple again, right? So after I drop apple, I think I just wanted to call draw apple. I'm guessing that'll just work. And then apple. Right? Every time you drop the apple, and this calls it, then it'll draw the apple again. And that should be okay. And now it's just creating a new one. One thing I might have to do, I have to unhide this right now. So I want to show turtle. So I might do a show turtle like right here. Active apple.show turtle. I don't know if I need to, but let's see. So my guess is this will just work. I haven't done this before. Okay. So I want to click in this screen. Oh. Well, it left it on the ground. And notice every time I hit A, it resets it. But one thing that happened is it never set the Y position again. All right. So I got to reset the Y position. Active apple. Oh, wait. I don't know if I want to do it there. Because I probably want... Let's do it this way. Active apple set Y. I know this is like... Let's set it to 0. Okay. There's probably a better way of doing this, but I'm not going to figure it out. We're just going to set to 0. So it resets position. I might even comment. You set the apple position. Okay. Hey. Working. Done. I hit A, it drops. All right. So guess what? I'm going to use my Stampy feature. And I'm going to say, boom, done, check mark. Thank you. So I have it to reset. How did I do that? Every time it drops, it should draw the apple again. Basically, it's creating a new apple. Hoping this is okay. Your code might look different. I also had to make sure I reset the Y position back to this spot. Okay. I don't like that this font's so big. You know, can I? Not very well centered. I'm going to be picky. Well, no, that's not great either. Maybe this A is too big. Maybe I should take it down to 30. Oh, okay. I like that better. Yeah. Okay. Now, reset the apple to a random spot. So it's going to be a random X and Y spot. And if you remember from last time, we go to, I think it's about 180 in every direction, right? So I want it to go from like here to here to like here to here. I mean, yeah, apple might appear in the sky here, whatever. I'm going to guess that this is like 100 up. I'm going to guess this is like down -25. You can't even see that. I'm going to guess this is like 150. And this is like 100 negative. Maybe we'll just keep these 100 to 100. Whatever. I'll make it something like that. And maybe I'll take this down to 75. All right. So I want to reset the position. So this is where some randomness has to come in. So you're like, how do I do randomness? You could take this note right here, import rand as rand. So I'm going to put that up there. Or you go in my list of Python commands. You're like, I don't remember how to do any of this. And then you go down to the whole list of commands that we have all saved. And it's like in here too. So note like random. If you want to do a random integer, start end, because it's going to be important right here. So this helps you create a random integer between each parameter. So what I'm going to do is, if I want it to be a random Y value, now that I've imported random, instead of saying 0, I'm going to be random y value between -25 and positive, let's go 75. I don't want to do 100. And you know what? We just changed the y value. Let's see what happens. Okay. You see it's changing, right? Okay. I think I can go up higher, though. I'm going to make that like that. Okay, cool. Hey, this is the kind of thing when you're doing code. I've kind of put my steps out here. It's good to like do one step at a time because you get all these small victories. Don't try to make too many changes at once. Look, I could do this for days. I feel so good about myself. And you can too. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it change the x value. You want to try it on your own, you can pause right now. But you don't have to. Now I'm going to change the x value. So if that sets the y value, let's just do another one of these to set the x. X value, I'm going to go -100 to +100. That's my guess. All right. I think that's all I need to do. I'm in here. There you go. Not really going a lot of crazy directions. Oh, there it goes. Maybe you have to go out farther. Maybe it's -150. It always bugs me, like, I don't know a good way to see what the actual pixel spots are in Python. So there's a way to, like, test that better. Okay, that's cool. I can probably even go out more. Maybe I go... I want a little bit more variety, so... Because I know I'm going to have to add more apples later. I mean, I can always tweak this, but... I don't want them to all overlap each other, so I kind of want more space. But there, that works, right? Yay. Okay, I feel good about myself. So, I get to put another checkbox. Boom, right there. All right. Now I want to randomize the letters on the apple. So, okay, it's going to get a little harder. So, one thing we learn in here, and they tell you in step... Something stupid. Build the code to create a list of all letters. Okay, so we're going to have to create a list of letters here. There's probably other ways to do this, but whatever. So, I'm going to create a list. So, hashtag create. No, I don't want to do it that way. So, let's go letters. Let me call it letters. And a... Oh, we should do this in quotes. So this is going to be the letter. You know, sometimes they have capitals and lower on key presses. Whatever. I'm going to do capitals. A, B. No, we're going to go SDF. S. This is more annoying to type. ASDF, just to follow my keyboard. There. I'm going to stick with 4 letters for now. I want to make it simple. All right? So this is going to be a list of letters. Maybe you have the whole alphabet in here. Go for it. But for now, I'm going to keep it at 4. All right? Random letter on the apple. So I want it to have be a random letter. Where does it actually write the letter on the apple? It writes it right here. So what I'm going to say, I'm going to actually say apple. I'm going to create another variable. I'll make this a global. There's different ways of doing this, but I'll make this apple. Nope, I don't like underscores. It's mine. It's going to start as a blank letter. So the current apple letter, you know what? Because it starts as A. Apple's letter, it starts as A. Let's just say my game always starts it as A. List of letters. So what I don't want to do is say write A. I want to say write apple letter. And let's make sure that works, okay? Now that I'm pulling that variable in, I just want to make sure that works. I should do this in Trinket. Oh, now it does a random spot at the beginning. Okay, that's fine. Okay, it does stay A. Cool. Now what I want it to do is, actually, I'm going to get rid of all this garbage. All right. So now what I want it to do is I want to randomize that letter. So maybe after that letter is drawn, I want it to like randomize that letter. So how am I going to do this? Maybe I want the first one to be an A. Do I want the first one to be an A? I don't care. Maybe not. Maybe I should just make it a random letter every time. Why does the first one have to be A? So I want to pick a random letter from this list. So how do I do this? I'm going to say my apple letter. So think of this as these are all, this is a list, right? One way to reference this list is use the index value. The index values are 0, 1, 2, and 3. So one way I can do this is just pick an index that's a random number between 0, a random integer between 0 and 3. So watch this. I can go letters, rand.randint 0 to 3. Pick a random letter from the letters list. If I use a period. All right. Some of you might be like, I don't like combining these. You want to make different variables for those? Okay, fine. But this should be legit. Let's see if that worked. Okay. Yep, F's. Now, the thing is, it's still, hit that. So I'm still have to hit A, but it works. Cool. Guess what? Check. Now, the apple falls via a random letter. So the problem here is I had to hit that random letter. It has to fall via that random letter. Oops. Well, I'm going to erase that stupid check mark. So where does it fall? It falls right here. Now, I got a question. Can I do capital A? No. It's case sensitive. Do you want this to always fall in lowercase? Why can't it just work on uppercase only? So one thing I think I could do, like, well, instead of just saying A, just say apple letter, right? No, let's just do it that way. Why can't that be a variable? Does it change every time? Ooh, I wonder. So, oh, okay. So one thing, okay, I'm learning how this works. I still have to hit A, but I have to hit capital A now, right? Because I think how this code works is like this runs once, and then it listens. I wonder, So how do I make it like change every time? Maybe I have to, like, how do I end this one key press letter and change it? So I'm trying to do this, but it's not running a new code every time. Maybe I have to, whenever I drop the apple, I have to run this again with the new, or whenever I create, like, why do it right here, right? What if instead I'm creating it when I create the letter right here? What if that's when it runs on key press? Then every time it should run again, right? I don't know how on key press works. I'm guessing. Uh-huh. Oh. Okay, but you know what's... Okay. So that kind of works, but I don't think you could see it right here. Every time I run this, it doesn't erase the old on key press. So like, okay, I'm capitals. A's not working. D's not working. F's not working. Oh, wait. A is not working. D is not F. S works, right? And now it's D. However, I can still press S. It'll keep working. Now that S, D, and F have been used, every letter I think will work except for A. A doesn't work. Smash an A. But if I smash F, and now all the letters should work. Oh my God. If you go too fast, don't, oh geez. Don't do that. You can't keep up. Okay, so almost doing what I wanted to do, right? But I think I'm on to this. I just wanted to erase the old on key presses. So I don't know how on key press really works. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go actually to reference this. I'm actually going to pause while I reference. All right. So looking on key press and how this works, it doesn't seem that if you keep adding new ones, I don't see a way to actually erase the old ones. So, or like disable the old on key presses, reset everything. It just seems to keep adding more on. So, and not any, I tried looking around. I don't think there's a way that I see to do it. I mean, there's got to be some way, right? It seems kind of, so here's how we're going to make it work. This just seems like a hack. So I deleted that on key press thing. This is going to be super annoying. Actually, I saw solutions for this that kind of look like this. We're going to actually need to make new functions, basically for every letter. So I'm going to create a function. Here's the first example. Typed A. So on key press, we're actually going to make a few of these. So I'm going to make one for A, for S, and then for D, and then F. So we got to basically make a different, like, we're going to have to make the listening for each of these keys. Each letter that we use. So yes, if you use 26 letters, you're going to make 26 of these. And so whenever it sees someone typing A, it's going to run the typed A function. And I'm going to say, hey, if my current apple letter is equal to A, then run the drop apple function. All right? So that should work. So basically, after you press, it doesn't automatically drop the apple. This will mean it does another check to make sure, oh, A drops the apple, and then it drops the apple. Okay? Now, the annoying part is now I got to do this for every one of these. You know, programming, if you're doing something like this so many times, usually go, wait a minute. Or, wait, I did this wrong. This is supposed to be S. If you're like repeating a section of code so many times, you go, there's got to be a better way to do this. I hope there is. So there I go. And I'm sticking with capital letters right now. I could just recreate these. You could double these up with lowercase. Actually, I could keep these lowercase, huh? Let's be consistent. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to run. Because it was lowercase when we originally did it, let's stick with lowercase. Yes. Oh, no. A still works. A always works. It's only dropping with A. What? Oh! Because when I put apple letter in here, it doesn't actually change this. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, it generates a random one. So I have to actually do global. Ah. That's to make sure you change the global variable A. Yeah, remember that? Okay, so F. See, like I hit A, doesn't work. S doesn't work. D, boom. S. All right, this works. Perfect. All right, so folks. Now, if I want to add more letters, all you got to do is add another function and add another key press. So, hey, guess what? Check mark. I'm done through this part, and I think I'm going to do a part 3 video. That should be done through step 16 right here. And then I will record again for this part. Thank you, everyone. Next video next.